So, hi everyone, welcome to our demo day on this. So what we are going to do today is we're going to look at the projects that our course participants developed. And I have a list, so I'll start sharing my screen. So I have a list of the order today. So two participants couldn't join us. So that's why we will watch their demos in recording. So unfortunately, we will not be able to ask questions. Pavlo, you didn't send me the topic, so I know you have a lot of
Oh,
project ideas.
that would be Master. Yeah, I'm still.
Yeah, so I know your project. I wasn't sure which one you're going to present, but so um, and since Eduardo sent his message first, so I volunteered him to be the first one, then Pablo, then we'll see a demo from Camila, Mladen, oops, um, and Spiros. So that's the plan for today. So what we will see is the capstone projects from course participants. And yeah, I think Edu, you can share your screen. I'll stop sharing my screen. And you can say a few words about yourself first, and then present your project.
Right, so hi everyone. Let me share my screen. What screen are you seeing? Are you seeing my...
That's your code editor.
All right, it's not the one I want to share, sorry. I'm not super familiar with Zoom, unfortunately. So let me...
That's better.
Yeah, that's the one.
If you
All
can
right.
make the font a little larger, that would be
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, sorry.
Amazing. Thank you.
Is this all right?
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Excellent. So, hi, my name is Edu, and for this capstone project, I essentially built a recommender for bikepacking events. So, prior to explain you what this is making, I think it makes sense to provide you a bit of context about this kind of bikepacking kind of cycling and the reason why I'm looking at this at this problem. So bikepacking, I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's a type of cycling that entails like long distance races essentially, and is in this type of cycling is not just the physical condition but also the logistics play a great role because essentially you need to find out very well like what kind of things you want to bring to the event. And the problem is that even though this type of cycling is becoming quite popular, the evidence that we have and about setups and stuff is still a bit scattered across different types of sources. So essentially, like is there is no a place where you can go and say, okay, I want to get this set up. I'm going to raise this type of event, and I want this setup. So essentially, I was trying to address this, and I built a knowledge base from a site that is essentially posting the setups of people that are raising this type of events, and essentially I was running the agent against this knowledge base. So this is the context. And essentially, what this does is you can ask a particular questions about your setup. For example, what type of bugs could I bring to a particular race? For example, Transpyrenees, which is a race that is across the Pyrenees in Spain. And essentially, this is going to give you a recommendation. So as you can see, we can. I mean, I have to polish a bit the recommendation, but you can get a bit of recommendation of what type of gear you can get. So in this case, Apidura, which is one of the most common brands of packs for this type of events, is the one that is recommended. You can also see why this recommendation is provided. So essentially, here you can see why the model chose this type of recommendation, and you can provide feedback according to what you see. So the system requires a bit of knowledge from the user in order to assess like the feedback or the recommendation. So you can provide a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you provide a thumbs down, essentially you can provide feedback about like why the recommendation was bad. Also, like you can make other types of questions. For example, what bike? What bike should I bring to another race? For example, Gran Guanche, which is another one, but is, I mean, I have, I think 200 events recorded. So essentially this is how I mean, this is providing the information. So you could see here a couple of levels. One is sort of recording like what type of query we are making. So in this case is regarding bike type. So is a specific component. So is the bike, and also the pattern, and also this level, which is same pattern based in this case, is essentially assessing like how we are retrieving the event. So in this case, we are the system is telling us that it's not getting the event exactly because perhaps it's not in the knowledge base, but it's getting something similar. So the recommendation is based on a similar event. So the system is understanding that you are asking for a similar event of what it has in the knowledge base, and essentially is providing the recommendation according to that. So for that, so what I was trying to get with this is try to prevent a bit the hallucinations in the model. So if we don't have, or the system is not sure about the event that we are querying, so if the event is not in the knowledge base, we are trying to say to the model that be careful, don't be very creative, and be cautious about the recommendation that you're providing. I don't know, I think there is a question, so feel free to ask.
It's not a question, it's more like a comment clustering. But
Okay.
I actually do have a question. So you mentioned
Mhm.
that you collected data, but you didn't go into details, like how exactly how did you
Oh
go
yeah.
about this?
Yeah, sorry. So for I think I can show you a bit like how this is organized. So for building the knowledge base, essentially I created a scraper. So essentially the scraper was looking um, at the website. I'm going to just to show you the website how it looks. So you have a taste of so
You're sharing code base?
yeah. So the events are recorded in this type of sort of format. So what I was trying to do, I mean, there are like a lot of events like this, and I was trying to get all this information and storing that in a database. So I created a Postgres database. I just wanted to keep it like simple, not fancy stuff. And for the index, I just built a Pgvector. So in my initial choice was quadrant, but when I saw that the quadrant was actually sort of switching off the cluster because of no use, so I decided to go for something simpler, which was giving me less headaches if I didn't use it in 2 weeks time or 3 weeks time. So yeah, as I said, like I built like this scraper. I loaded all the information into Postgres, and essentially I'm running that in. I mean, the system is querying towards Postgres, and this is giving me a bit of a headache when I'm trying to deploy because working out the connection is I mean working out the connection, building the index with Pgvector, and also using the embedding model that I'm using, which is the next thing that I wanted to mention. I'm using Oyama for embedding. So building up that on Docker is something that is where I got stuck, and I couldn't deploy like locally nor in the cloud because I didn't have the time. But but this is essentially like what I did. So also, like I said, like as I said, like I'm making like offline evaluation. So for that, I did several things. The first thing was to build some sort of ground truth document where I was providing different types of scenarios that the model could run. I knew that, so I was sort of creating this template like this exact Atlas full setup. So essentially, I was knowing the race. I was providing some sort of a question. Like I was saying what type of query it should be, what expected event like I wanted the system to be, because I have a set of tools that are actually like saying how I want how the query should be. So essentially, when you are like querying information, I have a tool that is sort of guessing like what is the event that I'm intending to type, and that is sort of refining the searching strategy. Otherwise, I realized that the system was getting crazy and providing lots of crazy results, very hallucinated, and not giving good recommendations. So essentially, to prevent that, I built this scenario, and I built some sort of offline evaluation dashboard that was giving me an idea of how the system was how the system was working. So essentially, I run the system over over a group of these different scenarios that I created, and I wanted to assess how the system was recommending according to those, and this was helping me to refine how the retrieval of the information was done. And also, I built some judge in order to see how was the quality of the recommendation after I refined my model. So it's sort of running. I mean, since I'm providing information, or sorry, since I'm giving information about like the feedback, I'm recording that into these JSONs, and these are, I mean, I'm saying why, for example, the recommendation is done. So, for example, in this case, for example, it was giving me a recommendation that it wasn't right. I was giving the reason why it wasn't right, and this is what I'm using in the LLM Judge to essentially understand the quality of the recommendations that I'm providing. And my idea is, once I get a good understanding of how the quality of of my recommendations are, trying to improve, with, I mean, the agent recommender that I'm having.
That's really cool.
Uh,
Thank you.
so I don't know if you have any question, because I am feeling like perhaps I'm saying a lot of things, but yeah, feel free to ask an address question, and I will try to answer.
Well, if nobody has questions, I do. So what was the most difficult part for you? Was it data collection? Was it evaluation? Was it something else?
To me, I guess, and I remember, I forgot to say that I'm also monitoring the information with Logfire as well. So I was seeing like how the system was behaving. For me, I think that the most difficult was to come up with a good recommendation, with quality recommendations. Making recommendations was something that was relatively easy, but getting the right recommendation is something that took me a bit to understand. And in my opinion, like something that was, I mean, something that clicked on my mind was to be clear about like how the format of the output you wanted. I mean, you were having. If you had very structured output, the system was getting easier to provide better recommendations. If you were letting a lot of things to the model, So for example, like, yes, recommend without any sort of structure, like the model was recommending, but was recommending very wrongly. So it was better like to put lots of layers before like the model was recommending to make sure that I was structuring very well like the result, and also just delegate few things to the model, not make the model like to do lots of stuff, but provide actually like according to the structure information that it was receiving, provide the recommendation, but not letting him do a lot of the stuff, because that was clearly like that was having clearly a cost in the quality of the information or the recommendation that I was getting.
Yeah, thank you. So I guess what really helped was structured output, right? And
Mhm.
also, I assume this evaluation set that you have with scenarios, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess the most challenging thing is to deploy. I
Mhm.
gave a couple of evenings to I gave several tries, but I couldn't manage. So I said like I leave it in a local sort of version, and I will leave it
Yeah,
for
next
the
step.
next.
Okay, thank you, Edo.
Okay, that's okay.
Pavlo,
Yeah,
you're
sure.
next.
So, hi, my name is Pablo, and I would like to present you a project that I'm going to use for personal needs also. So, first of all, it's designed to uh, track your family needs and calories, nutrients consumptions. So I predefined some data. So I will just show how to increase family member, how. So we have some short functionalities that I would still work on, like about adjusting to exercises time, etc. So adding looks gives you possibility to set your dietary preferences, allergies that you would like to, allergy foods that you don't like, and sorry, yeah, we would need to set something here. So, for example, okay, and here, like calculator based on person stats and health documents ingested.
So
Our
right now you're
system.
already using AI here.
Yes, for this one, I have one of the tiers that I would show it right now through the screen. One of the tiers that parsed a few books according, like I have 5 different categories that I used in RAC, but I think I was too fast, and hybrid search is really not needed. It just add delays in responses here. So on this level, you just set data, and later we would use this anonymized data, and just to avoid any issues with GDPR for real stuff. And that data would be used here in a way like 3 family members, like member 1, member 2, member 3, they without names, just with data by age gap, weight, like is it breastfeeding, if it's female, and age. So and here, yeah, I still have to add more research, because I just today dropped some pre-calculated data due to issues, and it's another challenge that we have after deploy. So external system was trying to push directly in main, and I had to disable my checks with history of commits and all PR checks to be updated. So just in case with any of Lovable, etc., sometimes you need to just bypass all your CI/CD. So here we calculate based on existing meal. So I already generated it, and yeah, UX I would have to redo. As you can see, also we immediately have highlights and calculation how far you are from recommended. We cannot say that it's like doctor recommendation, but it's like recommendation as per your data and stats. So for the most precise part, you would need to add more recipes, because currently it's like around 40. Yeah, I would need to re-import the books and check, because I had some issues in few recipes, and for them in last 2 hours I had to fix few issues. So we have deficiencies, and you can see that they are also highlighted best sources of fiber or calcium. They are taken from RAC, and we have like 3 layers. So we have inbuilt LLM Invoke, which is from this provider, and it's using OpenAI under the hood. We have RAG that is actually feed with data, so kind of facts supported tier, and we have third level to fall back if we don't have enough data neither in both of these two. So we would mention that we don't have enough data, like please try again later, or try just to avoid situations when, for example, OpenAPI token funds are limited and we have some issues with this specific instance. So I would need to set some Gamma 4 or probably another one just to have as backup on local, but this is to be improved. So we can see all deficiencies that are here. The specific menu was optimized for the fund saving, and you can see that it's like having less proteins that's required. Yeah, so we can regenerate it and try to switch favorite focus. Yeah, this is feature for aggregating of all recipes cooking, and it's right now broken. I would need to tune it. So we support also adding recipes directly for manual edition, and regeneration for entire months or for favorite cuisine. And you, of course, can add favorite ingredients that would impact on how close these recipes are to your favorite. So if you have more ingredients that from your favorite list in your recipes, that would be prioritized in answer. So this is just for short demo purpose. So small set of recipes. Features like discovery and collection are in progress, so not much to say about them. Recipe, it's for manual recipe setup, but initially I would, I think till submission deadline, like 22, I would feed much more recipes and hope they would be interesting to community to explore. So ingredient database also supporting manually adding ingredients and imported from USA Institute of Health. So if it's manually added, it's reflected here. If it's pulled from the data set, it's not reflected. So as for nutrition, we have also our kind of AI coach that can pull for specific user analyze his his current diet and showcase what deficiencies or extra he has in his current diet. And I missed this button. It would be name selection. and it would be a recall to meal planner to regenerate this for entire family with this specific family member. So for the transparency, it has also guardrails and some medical triggers when to throw an alert and target user for like doctor visit. So for example, it's all from the test cases that I attached. So I have, oh, by the way, one important stuff. I have kind of duplicated ways. So I have calls from GS part to this LLM Invoke from base 34 and separate calls directly to Python backend because of saving calls and optimizations. So most of the calls that are not requiring actual rack access, for example, if it's like collecting user information or I have also like pre-evaluated recipes. So it has access to that JSON with structured recommendations and data. So that LLM will directly communicate to user to speed up and to reduce load. So medical referral triggers are below about like warnings and when we need to raise critical conditions alert and which doctor we should visit. Also on input and output, this is one of the reasons that actually causes delays, and I'm not sure how to properly get rid of this to have at the same way to be GDPR compliant, to have direct communication of user personal data and prevent like any leaking like from man in the middle or from database hack, so that I still need some data, like LLM needs some data detailed enough that in some countries, for example, like Norway, even if we have like weight, height, and like family group members, that could be considered as per GDPR as personal identifiable data due to small countries. So countries like 3 million entirely, I don't know how to handle them. If you have any ideas how to bypass this, probably we need another approach would be just to split family data and have it in small encrypted chunks set to LLM, like mixed, so that it's not like one user sending data, but kind of to Kafka query and then some mixer. Like so output validation, I have schema validations, I have Pydantic checks and JSON beautifier and validator. Also, there is like validation. Retry attempts limitation, timeouts to fail requests and not to keep them, not to keep connection too long, rate limiters and circuit breakers, just in case we are not impacting the entire application if specific part is dependent. So how it works. So after setup and configuring, we generate meal plan, then we customize. This smart shopping list is assessing your favorite. Yeah, honestly, this 5 doesn't implement it. I will do it in a few days. A nutrition coach also should be targeted to a specific person. What else? A transparency need to cover it. Okay, so how it works? Via admin only, I can upload new PDF book, parse recipe by recipe, and after this recipe is parsed, it's calculated by like all ingredients, calories and nutrients are calculated against another tables, and to speed up this regeneration and to make this meal planner reusable and save overall AI load, it's cached, it's saved in database as optimized recipe. So I have also prioritization for these responses, and actually this is split in 5 recipes in 5 knowledge collection. One is purely recipes. Another one is about nutrition science, what to combine with what, like what nutrients are the most critical for you in different conditions. Health Food Practical is was one of the most challenging because the books that are available to download, they are mainly older one, let's say like that, and quality of that scans is not the best. So I will add a few more books which I would need to do translation from like Ukrainian or Russian, Polish to English. So that would be easier for me because I know some content where to find. Medical dietary guidelines. This is the area that I would use help of my father-in-law. He was like a good like sportsman, like world class, and he has education about rehabilitation and in what is recommended in specific condition, how to recover. Yeah, and this one, natural medicine experimental, it's pretty funny how cheap you can find actually health, like Gvozdika. 1 second, what's named?
It's a barrier, right?
No, it's like you add it to one. No, not this one.
Okay.
Yeah, so claw. So this clause that you are adding to your food, they are ideal for reducing. Yeah, like this clause. They, for example, ideal to reducing your inflammations, and they impact really great for your for your digestion system and your absorption of nutrients. So, for example, like you might be surprised how good. For example, once we started using this clause, we stopped having any air respiratory diseases at all. So it's just like one claw for 2 days, like one day, one by one, and not even each day, just one in a few days, and it's enough to save you. For example, my wife had a temperature around like 41, and she had a really big infection. So she used like 3 claws for each side, and like in a few hours, this inflammation dropped, temperature dropped to normal 37. And if you are in travel somewhere, this is ideal hack for you to be safe, actually, because I'm not sure how easy to find alternatives. So this is 3 tiers that I mentioned before. And data pipeline looks like PDF parsing, extraction, chunking, embedding, and vector index. So I think hybrid I need to remove for production, and it will be much faster. Yeah, also evaluation is used with LLM message approach. So actually, I think this page is oh no, this is fixed. So this is on high level how it looks. And if you have any questions, like we can check, we can discuss actually with them. See. Oh, also like I did this U14 allergens assessing like dairy, for example, milk, gluten, and others, so that they excluded from foods. And if we have alternative, that recipe won't be provided to you. So this is how it looks.
That's really amazing. Like you, in this product, you use AI basically on every single step, right? Like from the moment when you sign up, it already was not sign up, but introduce a family member. It was already calculating some things, right? And then you use it for parsing recipes, right?
Yes.
When you do this meal planning, is there also an AI component or it's more like traditional?
Yes, because it's using previously parsed and recommended. So we already, like in most of cases, like I tried different cases and I saw that in most problems for people, it's actually to have high protein. So it's one of criteria how recipes are prioritized. And this is like in fast, this is one of the parts where LLM Invoke, it's on GS side. It's taking pre-calculated like recipes, which are targeting to cover gap in protein consumption because it's either protein or iron. Almost never it is like lack of salt or lack of fat. So this is like overall our food. So it's partially yes, and I would add it more targeted. So I need to combine this meal planner and nutrition AI coach. Because, for example, like real case, my father-in-law was like curious. Oh, you're doing something like, and can you calculate like my diet? And so I calculated for him. Uh, I found deficiencies he had, sent to him, and he like, oh, that's why I so love this. It's in English. So he found why he liked, for example, fermented cheese or basilic or some other stuff because they were nutrient rich that he was liking from his other meals. So this one, a coach for nutrition tracker, like about here would be one more point. It's for now only hard coded. I haven't published it yet. Like, please analyze my current meal, my current menu, and based on it, here would be button that inject it to our family menu and drop down for each person. So it's already is, but I hope it will be better.
Any questions to Pablo?
So you're saying this is built off of you're ragging some recipe books that are scanned, right?
Yes.
That's really interesting. And have you considered using are there like using databases out there that like I know there's a lot of websites that have recipes. I look at Greek recipes on websites that I enjoy. Is that something?
Yes, but you have in that case you would have a problem. Like if you put entire recipes exposed, you would have
Oh,
problem with copyrights. So
no.
in my case, I can parse recipes, I can combine them, I can exchange, for example, even similar naming for ingredients or suggest exactly the same alternative by nutrients rich density. And first of all, no one will see except you as individual user. What are you getting? Second one, you would get it like on your request. So from the legal perspective, it's a bit more safer than to show like entire recipes to everyone. Because if anyone can go, you would see like parser bots that from some companies like Aura, for example, or another one, they are looking for personal data, personal intellectual properties across worldwide. And if it's exposed, if it's like published, available for someone,
Yeah.
you can get like mail of happiness.
Mail of happiness. I love that.
And if you're receiving like targeted for your situation, so I haven't done this yet, but I have it in mind. So actually proportion already modifiable, because I calculate for 10 grams for 100 grams, and it's adjusted for you to your specific case. So you would see recipe not exactly how it's in book, but calculated for that, adjusted a bit with your proportions. So in theory, that can be like legal protection, because it's highly likely that it's not exactly the same as it was in original PDF book.
Very interesting. Okay.
That's why I have this additional tier of first parsing. Then I calculate by 10 grams step, and then I'm saving these recipes with proportions.
Very cool.
And for each, sorry, forget to add. And for each, for most common combinations, like 2 adults, 2 kids, 2 adult, 1 kid, 1 adult, like 2 adults, your parents, 1, 2, 3 kids, I have like anonymized combinations. And for them, I already have pre-calculated proportions and recommended pool of like favorite recipes. So it can be fast response, pulling that data, only even without access directly to RAG. It's already in kind of JSON for that specific combination.
Interesting. Interesting. That's really cool. That's really cool.
It's per cuisine. So for now, it's only for Mediterranean kitchen, and I'm starting to add Polish national.
Cuisine. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm Greek, that's why.
Italians might not agree with you.
Okay. Thank you, Pablo. Really inspiring. So thanks a lot. You have done a lot, and thanks for showing it to us. So next two things. I know, Spiros, do you have time now? Because probably like if I do the recordings right now, by the time I finish, could be like already.
It's don't even worry about it. If we have time,
Okay.
I'll do a quick 3-4 minute run through. If we don't, it's totally fine.
Okay. So is it okay if I do the recordings now, or you want to
Go
present?
for it. Yeah, go
Okay.
for it.
Okay, so then now I will open. So right now, let me share my screen. So right now we will look at the projects from Camila. Actually, for me, it's going to be a surprise. I don't know what this project is about. Oh, now we know, engineering decision memory agent. So I have not watched this video. So she sent it a while ago. She sent it today. Today I didn't have time to check it. So let's take a look together.
So, hi everyone, and
You hear it, right? There is a
Yes, we hear.
cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Camila, and I work on the engineering decision memory agent, and I'm part of this cohort of the bootcamp. So I will try to explain in 2-3 minutes about the system itself, the problem statement, and yeah, that's it. So I have been working as a tech lead, but also as a manager. And in every engineering team, we make hundreds of technical decisions over time. And questions like these questions are very, very basic, right? But it can be more and more complex, depends on the context that you provide to the agent, right? For example, in the company that I work on, probably the questions that I can formulate are more complex and very specific to the field that I'm working. So, yeah, but normally we have these kind of questions like what trade-offs were discussed in the database migration, what alternatives were considered for service discovery, right? And the problem is that those decisions live across different documents like ADRs or RFCs or design documents and postmortems. And over the time, the engineers who made the documents may leave the team, right? So new engineers have no way to understand why the system is the way it is without reading like long documents that nobody has time to read, right? So imagine a team with more than 5 years working on a specific solution. The ramp up for a new person will be so difficult, right? And instead of getting a wall of this, I build these agents and I can get answers in a structured way with a final decisions, the alternatives that were considered at that point, and the made trade-off. Sometimes it can provide the business context behind that, right? And the most important part is that the agent never invents information, right? If the knowledge base doesn't have the answer, basically it says, I don't have the information, right? No hallucination at this point. So I will try to index all the documents. So right now I have around 21 documents between ADRs, postmortems, RFCs, designs, right? So, for example, I will ask like a question here. What did we move from monolithic to microservice? And I will ask the question. So I can get here the decision. The decision to migrate from Django monolithic to microservice was driven by 3 core pain points: deployment coupling across 16 engineers, scaling bottlenecks, and team autonomy constraints. Didn't find alternative that were considered at that point, but you can find the key trade-offs here, the context and constraints, and the sources, right? Where it found the information or in which specific document the agent found information, right? At the relevance of each document. You can thumbs up, of course. Also, I have a metric in terms of latency, how many tokens were used in this specific answer. But for example, I will use another one. For example, why was Kafka chosen over SQS? Ask, searching documents and generating the answer. So as you can see here, there are alternatives considered, the key trade-offs, context and constraints, the documents in which ADR or postmortem it was found, and the relevance. Also, I built like a monitoring dashboard, right? With the queries per day, answer found versus not found, latency distribution, and the token usage per query. And you can find the interaction history here, the questions, if the answer was found or not, the number of chunks, number of tokens used, latency, and the feedback from the user. And I don't have like a feedback loop implemented at this point. It's just like a thumbs up. That is one of the next steps that I want to implement here. So in general, how the pipeline works, it's basically the documents get loaded here, and they are split into overlapping chunks. Those chunks get embedded using a Hugging Face model, and they are stored in ChromaDB. When a question comes, the most relevant chunks are retrieved and passed to Cloud Sonnet as a context. Then Cloud responds in a JSON schema that basically maps directly to the UI that you see here, right, with the different cars. And then I build this monitoring dashboard. I know I can use other tools, as I mentioned. Didn't have time to implement. That's it. From my side, on the next steps, I want to use SpedKit this specific thing. To build the same agent using cloud, but providing all the specific requirements and how I want to build the agent, the constraints, and all these things. Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, that's really cool. So I worked as a principal in my previous company, and I had to review these ADRs like every single day. So I kind of have PTSD now when looking at this, but also like imagine how much time it can actually save, because you can quickly look up other previous ADRs, right, and think, okay, like in this team they made this decision because of that, right? So okay, does it really make sense to go with this decision with this team? So this is how I would use it back then, right? To and review in ADRs. Yeah, I think it would really simplify the process. So this is really cool. I don't know, does anyone? I think Spiros, you were like clapping. I think you really enjoyed this.
I work for a massive organization, and I can tell you that we have amnesia as an org. Every 6 months, we have organizational amnesia. So it
It's
feels
on
that,
purpose.
well, yes, maybe, but
Each
it
new
feels,
manager can get bonuses from new tool. It's like each generation of designer had to have some work.
yep, yep. So it's beautiful to see something like this because we have all the Jira you can imagine. We have Coda, we have everything, but after it's done, it's lost in the folders and files. Nobody knows where they are. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine like if you just feed the data from Confluence here, then this is such a useful tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay,
Uh,
then I have
if you,
yeah,
sorry, one
Pablo.
second. If we actually inject everything from Confluence, I'm not sure about your situations, but I worked also in like enterprise big one, and it would be overkill because it can be that even in same department, like team which are sitting next door, they're using totally different tools for exactly the same problems. So we need some prioritization by top management.
At least there is a process, like right? So there is because in smaller companies they don't have this ADR RFC thing, and then these decisions get lost, and then when people leave, you never know, right? So at least you have this paper trace, and now we have agents that can actually help us. Okay, the next project I'm going to show is some of you might have seen it because Mladen already presented it in our internal office hours. So he couldn't present, he's traveling right now, but he agreed to just share this with everyone. So what he did, I think he'll just explain it right now. So let me play it.
So I built a small like web client that's basically at the same time you can launch Telegram. So the project itself, the idea is to have multiple GitHub repos, and Alexei told me you should be able to just speak to your chatbot. It automatically should use Pydantic and structure the bug report on its own, transcribe.
So maybe I added a bit of context. So Mladen was one of the course participants who reached out to me asking, he was like, yeah, I don't really know what to implement. And I have a different problem. I have so many projects and I don't know which one to take. So I shared one of the problems with Mladen. The problem I have is I have many, many different GitHub repositories. And sometimes I go somewhere, I'm on the go. Let's say I'm going to get groceries, and then I have some idea. So in order to capture this idea, what I need to do is I need to go to GitHub. I need to open the proper repository. I need to create an issue, and I need to uh, type in or use voice dictation, which is usually not super good, right? To capture this idea, and then I continue. And I thought it would be so nice if I had a bot where I can just send a voice message to, and it would automatically understand which repository, which project I'm talking about, and it would go and file a structured issue. It will create a structured issue for that. So that was the idea. Mladen really liked it. And here is the
Type the voice messages, then use rug in the background to search through all the repos. And then depending on what kind of issue we have, yeah, it should like open a bug itself. So let me show you the repos. So you have sorry, you got me a little bit unprepared here. So GitHub. So let's see here. So I created two repos basically, one for front end, one back end, so we can differentiate on them.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. Okay, there it is. So the code for this project itself is here. We have two repos, backend, front end. So at the end of the day, yeah, if everything works, you just pick up your phone. Let me open my Telegram. So Telegram, I take my voice issue bot, I speak to it. Let's say we have Albanian hackers attacking our front end and there's denial of service. Please report it to security team. So what it does, it's using like standard OpenAI AI stuff. So basically this is not a bug, it's evaluating whether it's off topic, on topic. So basically it went through evaluation, it identified, okay, you have legal issue. This is not really a bug. So we'll show how it looks later in monitoring. But we can say, okay, it's a bug because our code is not proper. So it's a front-end bug. Report it as a front-end bug, please, for me. No. It's actually keeping the context as well. So, okay, let's see. Okay. All right, it's smart enough, so not good. It doesn't just open. So looks to me like JavaScript code is not properly structured. We can have some SQL injections there. Just open a bug for me, front-end bug in my repo. Okay. Maybe we provided enough technical info this time. All right, there you go. We've been specific this time. So it's using Pydantic, like to structure it as a proper bug. It creates everything, and we will also want extra layer of elevation. We just don't want our AI to go blindly, so we need human feedback there as well. Approve. There you go. So that's how it works. But
That's amazing.
that's simplified. So in order to make this run, I mean, this runs a bunch of Docker containers. So we had to write some orchestrator to run those containers. So we have to put monitoring there as well. We placed the judge in the background. That's what we studied about. So it actually evaluates the quality of our bugs. So if you want to see all of that, there's like control panel. Right, so it's protected because this is if I remember the passwords. All right, it's protected. Let's unlock it. This is like standard Streamlit dashboard. Because it's Docker, it's easy to plug into Docker. So every one of these services is actually a Docker container. We can start, stop them. So Postgres is our DB where we store everything. Bot is the one interacting with Telegram. Dashboard. Well, that's the standard Streamlit dashboard. We have Grafana for monitoring. We have, let's say, judge process that's evaluating what kind of quality of. Well, I basically took what we studied here. So every topic we studied, I implemented it. So here, for example, every request we sent, it was evaluated independently. So we were sending it independently to AI, and based on our report, it could be like off topic or poor quality. That's why we didn't actually open the bugs if they hadn't been judged properly. So when we provided enough technical info, we actually evaluated it as proper one. We also added human input, and we use this later in monitoring as well. When we like evaluate it, we give it some score. We also put it to Postgres as well. So if you are deploying it yourself, there are certain keys in an environment. You can override them on your own. This web interface as well has an option to override all of that. So other components we have is like standard Streamlit. That's like we call it session dashboard. Perfect. I mean, standard stuff we did on our class, like nothing spectacular. Every Streamlit session. It also involves the feedback part where we are actually adding human feedback, so we are sure we don't open hundreds of bugs in automated way. And the final one is like Grafana, because everything is in Postgres. It's quite easy to build a dashboard. It's like standard Grafana stuff. So let's see what we got there.
Did you experiment with Logfire?
No, I haven't. Unfortunately, this was like
Okay. Grafana is also good.
So basically, it nicely integrates. It's using HTTP authentication, so immediately you can pass Nginx headers to it. It just goes straight forward. So basically, what it captures, the agent runs, how much issues we actually created, average execution time, the score. That's the one evaluated by judge. You can actually cancel as well if you don't want. So that's the human component. Did you accept or did you approve? The repos we used. And this is like interesting part to monitor. So if we were off topic, it's evaluated as off topic. So we don't actually get to create it. If we were very specific technically, well, yeah, it gets created. So that's pretty much it. So what it uses, it's using mini search for rug search and Pydantic, so other components as well, I think. So
There is also a question from James, where are you deploying the containers?
Okay, so I basically used Google Cloud. If you guys have like if you are paying for anti-gravity and this stuff, you have around $10 per month of credit. They give you for developer credits. It's enough for one VM. Like you actually need powerful VM for this, like at least 4 gigs of RAM, 50 gigs of storage, dual core. So medium instance. If you put smaller instance, it chokes. It's unable to run.
What storage do we have for containers in that case for such cheap subscription?
So you can have. Let me have a look.
I think I'll stop here. I like how Mladen is casually dropping, oh, it's just standard Grafana stuff. Just for the reference, he is a systems engineer. As for him, it's like it is actually just usual stuff because this is what he's working on. But yeah, we also covered that in the course a little bit. But like for him, I guess it's just usual everyday stuff.
Might be elk stack also, so
Yeah.
they're not always in the same company.
Okay.
So the only thing I wanted to add, I'm not sure that we actually need Telegram bot here directly instead of better alternative like WhatsApp or just from secure. I'm a bit security paranoid, sorry, but yeah, WhatsApp is better if you're choosing between these two.
Like for me personally, Telegram is such a convenient tool because creating a bot in Telegram is so easy. Like I remember trying to create a bot in WhatsApp, was very difficult. And then at the end with Telegram, it's just you send a command, you get a token, and then here you have a bot. Like for simple things like that, when I just need to have to send a voice message to a bot, I think is really good.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's changed because I was testing
Maybe.
integration base 44 with WhatsApp, and it was like actually one token in one place.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so maybe something changed.
Okay. I need to check. So now we have our last demo.
I have one question
Yeah, sure.
regarding one of the things that Mladen said. Like, and I guess it's for Pablo and Spiros if they are like experimenting with deployments. Are you deployment also in Google Cloud or you are deployment in other provider?
Okay, my answer is local. Everything's local, and that's what I'm going to talk about right now.
Plus Tailgate, local plus Tailgate or alternative, whatever you prefer. You can have your own VPN, just set it properly, but easier and faster use Tailgate. It's
What
enough.
is it? What is tailgate?
It's
Is it
just
like
basically for
reverse?
secure connection. So it's the
Uh-huh.
same way how LM Studio connecting your multiple instances securely. It's basically the same principle. So they encrypt traffic. They provide you direct, easy way for your account to connect your services with encryption.
Mhm. I also like render. So Edu, if you're into experimenting, you can check render because they have relatively cheap instances and they also can host, like if it's a personal project, they can host SQLite databases for free. Like for Postgres, you need to pay. It's not like crazy money. It's like $10 or $20 per month. But with SQLite, it's free.
Great. Thanks very much for the recommendations.
Okay, so a little bit about me. I'm Spiro. I live in Canada and I'm working for a massive grocery company. I'm a data scientist. I will preface this with, even though I'm a data scientist, I've always been a Python Jupyter Notebook warrior, less so a software engineer, practitioner, and disciplinarian, which was a bit of a shift for me now. So I've also switched my computer to my Mac, my work Mac, because of the sound. So I'm just going to show you my browser and kind of my thought process really quickly, because I'll have to drop for a meeting in a few minutes. But let me share my screen. Let me close this actually. Quit. And hopefully I still have it open. Okay. So just to give you a quick sense of the rationale of what I was doing and a quick run through of where I'm at right now. I was speaking to a few friends sometime in the summer, and they're all in the medical field. They're all doctors, or one of them is a psychotherapist, and we are talking about AI. And all of them at some point in the conversation said, "That's great, but I would never put my medical documents or charts online, and I don't even trust the tools they're selling to us because in Canada there's a rule called, it's like that we use laws that say that if our data is exported to the United States has different legal framework that they can access Canadian data. So if a user goes on a tool that ends up having even the model living in the United States, like the compute, suddenly that compute can go, that they can infer things about patients that we don't want them to. So a lot of these folks were saying, I'm not using any of these tools, but their biggest and longest problem, and I know I'm going really long on what the problem was they will spend even up to 4 to 5 hours after patients to dictate their notes. And a huge thing that's happening now is there's actually doctors charging for services that would require additional dictation after the session. And so they were explaining that if there was a process, they could just approve a dictation and it's not something that's sent off to the internet in any way, um, they would actually be more comfortable with it. So right away, I started building, I started kind of vibe coding a solution that first transcribed their meeting notes, and then it did a diarization, but not really diarization using Whisper. I just used a local model to classify the two roles, and then finally it summarizes it into a chart. I'm just going to show you the final result. It's as simple as just getting a SOAP note, which is describing the subjective, the objective. These are terms the medical practitioners use, the assessment and the plan. And that takes a very long time for the doctor to put all together. I was able to use a local model to do this, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't use a very long recording. So I just took a recording from online of 3 minutes. That was a recording of a student talking to a patient. And in my previous implementations, it took maximum 10 minutes to run a 3-minute recording. So I think we're still in a place where I need to tweak things. But it's an interesting first step in the direction of a doctor having an app that they could have completely disconnected from the internet and feel comfortable having it record their sessions and then compile their doctor's notes with no, escape to the cloud. So that's kind of my quick run through in 30 seconds.
So you need to run, you said, because there is a question.
Sure, yeah.
So the question from Vingesh is, have you heard about Mentalic? They do something like this.
So I was reading about Mentalic, but I think Mentalic still has a component that's online, or are they now using an edge model? Because one of the doctors recommended that as
It's online, yeah.
it's online. So that's what I'm trying to do the value proposition of going to a doctor's office and saying, this is your computer, disconnect it from the internet, run the model.
Mhm. And if something is hosted in Canada, then I guess it's easier, right?
Yeah, yeah. So it's because we know that Canada, a lot of times, a lot of the data centers get switched over to the States. Even us as a grocery provider, sometimes we'll use, if something's down, it'll back up a United States
Uh-huh.
server. We're very, very wary. The medical world and the nuclear world is very wary of using any sort of data centers. So
Mhm.
there's an interesting use case for this type of stuff.
So
Yeah.
online, offline is the most secure way, right? So you're 100% sure it doesn't go anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Got it.
One question: have you considered like using a small on-device model? For example, same from Gamma 4, it's pretty on latest phone. It can be on-device deployed model, and people mentioned it's pretty good for voice recognition.
Yeah, I was hearing about a lot of these. I know even Google just released something.
Yeah, that is exactly from
Yeah.
Google.
Yeah. I heard Google released Edge device. So they're thinking about it, and I'm hearing also Apple is talking about on device as well. So I could see this being something that gets ingested pretty quickly, because I'm sure the apps will leverage the Edge device AI capabilities. But yeah, it was just something that I feel the medical world is very slow to uptake this stuff because of regulation. So I was very interested in seeing what if I go to a doctor's office and say, here's a piece of software you use on your computer just to do for your own notes to help you. And a lot of the
Main
yeah.
main challenge from my understanding that they would be we would need to confirm somehow for them to adopt that if they use on mobile device or on tablet that tablet provider or vendor like Google etc does not use this in container
Yeah,
data.
or it doesn't send even telemetrics. Yeah, 100%.
Uh,
Okay.
j- just short addition
Yeah.
for iPhones, it was an option to have keys on keychain that would encrypt and prohibit
Oh,
even for Apple using. That's why for Arizona Care Network we had one project and we were using iPhone and iPads mainly. I'm not sure how it's now. It was like 4 years ago, but
that's
technically.
really interesting that they did that. Okay, that's worth looking into. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I'm sorry I'm kind of running
Thank you.
away, but
Yeah,
really,
we
really
took
appreciate it.
longer than we should have.
It's all good. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So, well, I guess that's also it for us. So, um, unless I forgot about somebody who's here who wanted to present, As far as I know, I don't see anyone here.
We can ask in chat. Maybe people will share later recording, because I
Yes.
believe some checked that deadline is April 24 and still working on projects.
Yes,
I wasn't sure I would be ready to show demo because I was discussing with vendor like why you broke my build and while chat with support team, I found the root cause and solve it and just shared solution with them.
That's good. Yeah. Well, yes, the projects are still ongoing. But yeah, thanks everyone for presenting. Thanks everyone for attending. So I'm going to also make it public, and quite a few people registered, so they will see this thing in recording. And yeah, it's been fun. Thanks everyone for working hard presenting this. And from what I understood, you, Pavlo, and Spiros, you're going to continue working on this because it sounds like you want to build an actual app for
Yeah,
that.
I just saw Yellow Green Initiative and waste reduction, and I thought, oh, maybe if I finish it end of the summer, I would try to apply for grant, and it would be open time for actually switching fully from 9 to 5.
Yeah. So I wish you a lot of success in that. So I hope it goes smoothly.
Honestly, I'm not sure that this current AIM era, we won't be like in half a year or in a year replace
Yeah, we will see.
fast models that.
Yeah. Okay. So thanks everyone. It has been a really fun cohort. So I hope to stay in touch with everyone. So yeah, and I guess that's it. So for cohort number, there are still we still are going to have project submissions, and I'll be in contact with you like when you need to evaluate and stuff. But I think this is the last cohort 2 meeting we have. So it's been really nice. So thanks a lot for sticking around.
Thanks
Thanks for your work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, see you around.
See you around. Thanks very much,
Bye.
everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.